Okay. Alrighty. Game one of our second semifinals. In the upper right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the blue Protoss. Maybe the best Protoss player in the world. And I say maybe when I mean right now I say definitely. It's MaxPax. His opponent in the lower left-hand corner, representing Team Liquid, and as we discussed earlier today, trying to take over the world's oceans. It is Kelazhur. I don't know, we decided Kelazhur was a Bond villain, and he's taking over the oceans because that's a very like Team Liquid based thing to do. So MaxPax has to stop him. He's got to use the power of the Psystorm to stop him. I hope you guys are having a great time out there. Been enjoying the cast today. I've been having a lot of fun. It's really nice to be casting some high-level European StarCraft again. Good to see MaxPax again. It's been so long. And if you are here for the first time, make sure to hit that follow button. Thank you guys who have. I also have a YouTube channel where I post videos of the best casts that I do regularly, multiple times a week. The more good casts I do, the more YouTube videos there are. So make sure to give that a cheeky subscribe. And since I have maybe a new audience here that hasn't seen me cast European StarCraft before, Dave Tessa and I have been running the Korean StarCraft League for the last 14 weeks. That's been going fantastically. That is a fully crowd-funded, Patreon-funded tournament to support Korean StarCraft in light of Blizzard abandoning us. So if you guys want to help support StarCraft, you love some Korean StarCraft, check out the Patreon for that. We'd really, really love and appreciate your support to keep the weekly going as long as possible and to help support our summer tournament that we're doing. And I think that's my whole spiel for the day. Also, if you join that Patreon, you get replay packs every week. So if you want high-level replays, it's probably the best way to get them right now. Anyways, I should focus on this game a little bit. MaxPax getting a little aggressive here. Does save the Zealot with 2 hit points and is able to trim off a Marine. Now with the Adept here and the bunker not done, Kelazhur is going to have a bit of a tougher time defending this, but as I say that, takes down the Adept, takes down the Marine, and will be able to hold the top of this ramp against the 1 Stalker. Good defense from Kelazhur. Bunker is now done. He can save the 2 low hit point Marines. Okay, looks like a Widowmine drop follow-up here for Kela. Could be actually really nice since MaxPax spent, a lot of those early units moving across the map. Kelazhur are sending out 2 Hellions as well. Oh, this is really cheeky. So these Hellions are going to keep the focus on the front while the Widowmine drop goes in the back. MaxPax is going to have to be real ready for this. I don't think Blink is going to be ready in time to stop this medevac from coming in. So MaxPax is definitely going to have to be in position. He could even try to lift up the Hellions with this. I don't think I've seen that before. I don't think I've seen 2 Hellions and 2 Widowmines and a medevac drop. Be kind of cheeky. Be kind of fun. Oh, the medevac's been scouted. It's even taken some damage already. Doesn't have boost available. It's got to just hide in the corner here. The Hellions decide to get this probe and delay the 3rd by a little bit. They will run out of there. I mean, I think if you're Kelazhur, you have to boost in and try to get something done here. Hope for a lucky shot. Maybe you can kill a Stalker. But Blink's about to finish. He has to go now, or there's just no chance of this really doing anything. Yeah, I think MaxPax is just going to have the solid defense here. He's also got some Stalkers on the other side of the map. Another bunker going down. Kelazhur realizes he might be in a bad spot. Hellions trying to dive into the main base. Just 1 will make it. Medevac going to take that opportunity to drop into the natural. A couple of probes go down, but nothing too crazy. The Hellion will get cleaned up. after getting a kill or two. And now the Stalkers are going to blink into the main base. Kelazhur has a Raven here. He's got a tank, and he's able to drop that auto turret. MaxPax loses a Stalker, but saves the other ones. A little bit spicy. 5 probes going down. MaxPax down in workers, actually, right now. But there's no third base for Kelazhur. There's no third CC. So MaxPax is working on that. He's a little bit ahead in that regard. I think Kelazhur is pretty well buttoned up defensively. He's really worried about this. But MaxPax is just going to poke and prod. He is not going hard on this this attack. In fact, he won't even be able to get the tech lab. Gets a few SCVs, though, equalizing that count by quite a bit. And still no third CC for Kelazhur. I think Kelazhur must be planning to move out after this. Blink on top of that tank. MaxPax will get it. He has lost 5 Stalkers, though. It may not seem like a lot, but it's like a third of what he currently has. So he could have 18. But he is not stopping now. Kelazhur was right to play defensively. Stim is not even close to done, and I think it's not going to be done. Combat shield denied. Stim denied. Kelazhur is in a brutal position right now, trying to replace those tech labs and shove this army away. But remember, one of those tanks died. So it's extra hard to do that. And MaxPax has perfect vision of the natural. He knows exactly where the army is. I'd love to see, yeah, that supply depot go down to make Kelazhur's movement a little bit easier. I don't think MaxPax can crack this. I feel like it would be very difficult to do that. That's a nice kill in the Observer. Prism moving around the bottom side. MaxPax's third is up and running. Despite the fact that his worker count isn't fantastic, the fact that that third base is already running. Kelazhur did build a third. I was worried he was just going to try to all in. But no, seems comfortable macroing up a little bit more. And because he's kept that worker count rising, Kelazhur's actually in an okay spot economically. If he can take this base relatively soon, which is a little easier said than done when Stim was denied so late into its building. But if he's able to take that base relatively soon, I think Kelazhur's going to be in a just fine position economically. He also has a very strong army. MaxPax is getting into that Psystorm, though. He's got charge finishing up. And with that third base economy, he should be able to get out quite a few units. He's also going to take a fourth base. But yeah, right now, Kelazhur leading in a lot of ways. In terms of his army, at the very least. It's also just like, this is just a beefy army. MaxPax absolutely cannot engage with this army right now. This is a ton of bio. It's about to have +1. It's about to have Stim. Looks like combat shield's already finished up. So despite the delay on all of that, there's still a lot here for Kelazhur. MaxPax drops a nice little force field, but that is going to be the only one. The tank siege up. Oh, and Psystorm in that Warp Prism. Oh, that Psystorm was so good. MaxPax living up to the team name right there. Kelazhur still has a lot of bio, but he lost a ton of it, and he's taken a lot of damage on what is left here. He's reinforcing with some more units that are trying to come across the map. The tanks are a little bit too far back to really threaten MaxPax's base. It looks like Zealots are getting ready for a side flank here, as MaxPax is prepared to just keep on defending. He's got an Archon now. I don't know if he has any more Storms available. Zealots are going to look for reinforcements, I think. This base is starting to get pushed into. There's no ghosts here, so the Archons are pretty scary. Tanks on the backside, though, getting jumped on by the Zealots, and they will get taken down, so no more back line for Kelazhur, but he still has a lot of bio. He's looking like he might be able to push through this. This shield battery is going to get taken down. There's no overcharge on it ready. Psystorm gets dropped, but I think that's the only storm right now that MaxPax has. Oh my god, the battery goes down. The High Templar goes down. The other two morph into an Archon. There's more bio showing up. Kelazhur feeling like he can keep on pushing through. He's got a couple of Widowmines as well to soak up some of those Zealots. Oh, he's going to go for the Prism. Dealing a lot of damage to that Prism. That might be a target to take down. Kelazhur is running low on bio, and as more Zealots warp in, I feel like MaxPax is going to have enough here to hold and at least push this bio away. And in the meantime, MaxPax has a fourth base up and running. He's up quite a few workers. Kelazhur was so close to pushing through there, but because he wasn't able to, now he's significantly far behind in terms of the economy here. He's got a lot of money in the bank. He's trying to plant down some more barracks. But MaxPax, as soon as the pressure is off of his back, he takes an expansion, puts himself in a good spot. It was dicey there for a second, but a couple of really nice storms. The shield battery to defend, and just those warp-ins just in time, just enough to hold on. And with that economic advantage, MaxPax is going to be able to jump back up in the army supply and should be able to catch up to Kelazhur relatively soon. Kelazhur's got to do something about it. But he's got to be so careful. The Zealot run-by is poised to go in the moment he leaves. Ooh, I think MaxPax, he might have given it away, though. I think one of those Zealots got spotted. But at the same time, Zealots and Stalkers moving into this base. This is not a counterattack. One bunker will not hold it. The third base forced to lift. The SCV's forced to run away. And Kelazhur, I think he's sending a counterattack. Oh, looks like it's just a few units heading across while he tries to defend this. There's still a few Zealots from that counterattack on the left side, though. They could try to go into the natural. But Kelazhur gets brought home. Eats a lot of damage. This little attack on the other side doesn't seem like it's going to do too much. These Marauders, they're trying, man. This Widowmine kills a Stalker at the very least, but that seems to be all that's going to happen here for this drop. And Kelazhur struggling to find damage while he is taking damage. And MaxPax being so patient with these Zealots, holding them off to the side for so long, waiting for Kelazhur to move out. And now that he has moved out, the Zealots go in, catching some of these reinforcements. Kelazhur closing the door. That means his units can't get out either. And it's also just pulling his focus. Kelazhur wants to be taking trades out on the map right now, but he just can't focus on that and defending this at the same time. He's losing SCVs now because he's locked out of his own natural. He needs to get down there. MaxPax in the meantime was picking off some medevacs, sending this army all the way over to the left. Kelazhur might be able to go get a kill on this fifth base, but no, MaxPax recalls to it just in time. Turns on a super shield battery. There's really not much here. Hold on. This might have been a big mistake for MaxPax. He recalled a handful of gateway units, but he doesn't have any big units with this. Ooh, as I say that, though, the War Prism shows up with some storms, some bad weather. He is going to be able to push Kelazhur back. The Colossi showing up now as well. Kelazhur not able to get the kill on that base. He does successfully pull MaxPax home, but that is a very small victory for Kelazhur. I will say, Kelazhur is still way up in army supply. He took a really nice fight there in terms of the army. Killed a lot of Zealots and Stalkers without really trading much, because he was able to back up before he really lost too much. Look at that army supply, 109 to 75. MaxPax needs to be really careful out here. There are ghosts on the field. The storms, that is a whiff storm. This prism is feeling very low, and storms can only do so much. There needs to be other units to finish these guys off. Oh, MaxPax can cover his retreat with storm, but I really think he's got to get out of here. I really don't like him posturing like this. This feels so dangerous, but Kelazhur hasn't been able to take advantage of it. Are there more storms available? I just saw an EMP go down. I don't think there's any storms left. One storm goes down. Not the juiciest. The Colossi all die. The Zealots are going to go down. Kelazhur takes a great fight. MaxPax on 23 army supply. The SCVs and Marines that are here are going to clean this up. Kelazhur doesn't have a lot of workers left, but he has so much army. Can he just kill everything with this massive army? MaxPax, if he can get a couple of storms up, there's not a lot of energy left on these medevacs. Kelazhur's economy is in the garbage. MaxPax can afford to lose a couple of bases. I think he needs to let these two bases go. Oh, that's a juicy storm, though. It's a juicy storm hitting a lot of the medevacs, too, really softening them up for potential pickoffs later on. Disruptor is out as well. I think Kelazhur needs to get this base. If he gets this base, this game is in a good spot for Kelazhur. But if he doesn't get that base, MaxPax is cruising. He gets the base. I think if you're Kelazhur, maybe you just leave here. It looks like he wants to keep on pushing. He stims again. This army is so low. It's so orange. But the disruptors, woof. Disruptors pop out just in time to save MaxPax's base for now. Super shield battery turns on, even saving that probe. 22 probes have gone down, but 12 SCVs went down on the other side of the map. Kelazhur does finally have a 4th base up, but his 3rd base basically doesn't exist right now. MaxPax, I think, still has better mining, but Kelazhur has the fresher base. So even though MaxPax's mining is good right now, if Kelazhur is able to get this base fully mining and get this base back to mining, he will have a better economy. MaxPax is trying to take this one, but he's been mining from the 3rd and 4th bases for so long that on full saturation, he would have less. Fortunately for MaxPax, it is not full saturation, and so he still has that economic lead. He is catching up in the army supply quite a bit. We've got Zealots dropping into the main base to make this even worse for Kelazhur, who is desperately trying to come home. He really needs medevacs. God, these medevacs are doing their best, but it's just so brutal. All right, a few units coming back to help defend this. Even then, the Zealots are taking good trades here. The Zealots just win the fight. Oh my God. I didn't realize MaxPax is actually up 2 upgrades. He's on 3-2. Kelazhur is on 2-1. That explains part of the reason why Kelazhur's fights haven't been going as well as you'd expect. But what is this fight? He's just going to kill 3 Disruptors for a couple of Marauders. That is beautiful. And now MaxPax is caught super far out of position here. The bio units stim forward. The EMPs go down. These Colossi are in some trouble. The Disruptor's going to come up and will save them for the time being, but I don't think the Colossi are long for this world. The Disruptor count is so low, but there are a lot of gateway units here. Kelazhur's army supply is dropping. His army is so weak. He's going to lift up, but the medevacs are weak too. He only gets out of there with 2 full medevacs full of units. MaxPax is on 32 army supply, but Kelazhur's army supply has fallen down to 62, and in the meantime, he lost a bunch more workers. He's at 39 to 62. MaxPax's 5th base is up. He needs to get some probes over to it, but MaxPax's economy is now in a much better spot than Kelazhur's. It was close there for a little bit, but that's going to allow him to catch up in that army supply again. +3 is done for Kelazhur, so that's going to equalize the upgrades a little bit. Now Kelazhur's on the defensive. This is perfect for MaxPax. This is perfect because he's still getting some damage done. It looks like there's a DT in the main, but MaxPax can saturate that 5th. He's retaking the 6th, and I mean, it just feels like MaxPax is in a very good spot here. Rebuilding the Colossi. I will say the Colossi have not done great for him. Kelazhur trying to get on top of this army, EMPing the crap out of those Archons. Disrupts are going to go down. Kelazhur has been taking some fantastic fights this game, and he's going to find this 5th base. He wants to kill it. MaxPax is going to try to come over and defend it, but it's just a few Stalkers and Zealots. They are no longer way up in upgrades. They cannot take this fight. MaxPax has to give up this base. He's losing probes. There are some DTs going down, or some Zealots, SCVs going down to the DT, which is really, really nice for MaxPax. Kelazhur on 29 SCVs, trying to take a 5th base. If Kelazhur hadn't been taking significantly better fights this entire game, this would be so over, but he has just been really, really winning the micro wars here. Super Shield Battery holding on for MaxPax. He's got another Colossus out. That has not deterred Kelazhur so far. These medevacs have a lot more energy than the ones did earlier. Oh, nice force field there to pair with the Zealots, but still enough bio here to push through. The Marauders dive forward on top of the Colossus, and MaxPax has no army left, and Kelazhur somehow closes that game out. It felt like every time MaxPax would get a breathing moment, he was taking a base, he was rebuilding his army. It felt like he was pulling it back. But Kelazhur, despite being so far down economically, kept his army huge. And because of that, he was able to take better and better fights. And every time he took a good fight, I mean, he was up. The trades were insanely in his favor. It was 11,000 resources better for Kelazhur. So the fact that MaxPax had been mining more kind of didn't matter by then. And I don't know, man. I can't believe he took game 1. Kelazhur is on a tear today. The Bond villain looking to move on to the grand finals, but that's not over yet. MaxPax he's got to win the next 2 in a row. Generally speaking, MaxPax's PVT has looked stunning lately. So it's wild to see Kelazhur take a game off of him. But I really love that Kelazhur has come back full force into being, I think, one of the best non-Korean Terrans we have. He was that for a long time, but it felt like he stepped back from StarCraft a little bit, took a bit of a breather, maybe focused on real life, focused on himself. I think that's good. I think it's always a positive thing to do. When you feel you got to do it, you should do it. But he's come back into this game looking, honestly, like the best we've ever seen him. So let's hop into game 2 of this best of 3 series. We're on Royal Blood and spawning in the lower left-hand corner, looking like he might be able to take over the oceans of the world today. It is Team Liquid's Kelazhur. And his opponent in the upper right-hand corner, maybe the best PvT player in the world right now. As, to be honest, Hero looks like he's struggling in the matchup at the moment. It is Sidestorm Gaming's MaxPax. It was interesting in that last game to see the different priorities of the players. Kelazhur it was almost like he was reluctant to take extra bases, reluctant to rebuild SCVs. He was in that mode of, I don't need the SCVs right now, I need the Marines right now, and I'll deal with not having SCVs later. And with MaxPax, it was like, nope, rebuilding the bases, rebuilding the probes, let's get saturated, and then I'll build the units. But he never really had the time. The fights were too consistent, and every fight went well for Kelazhur. It makes me wonder if, at a certain point in that game, would it have been a better choice for MaxPax to, instead of taking a new Nexus, instead of rebuilding probes, to just do another warping round, to get 2 more Colossi out? Could there have been a moment where, yeah, building those extra units, he wins the fight decisively, pushes Kelazhur back, and then suddenly MaxPax can expand. He has the bigger army for once. Because MaxPax's army was like 30 supply less than Kelazhur's for the last 8 minutes of that game. Oh man, is MaxPax James Bond? Wait, this is making so much sense. Guys, this is why he can't go to live events. He's a spy. He's not allowed to go to live events. He can't do any of this. If MI6 knew that 007 was out here playing StarCraft, it also explains why he's so good at this game. Makes perfect sense. He's been James Bond this whole time. Well, I hope M is watching. MaxPax trying to be cheeky with this Adept, but Kelazhur too good for that. The Adept gets shoved away. Stargate opener for MaxPax. Did he go to Stargate last game? I don't think so. Oh, he's going for Phoenixes. All right. MaxPax giving us a nice little Phoenix game. We've got a shield battery here, so these 2 Adepts are basically immortal compared to these units of Kelazhur. Kelazhur might be able to just run by, though. Drops a grenade to Bop, and the Phoenix can lift one of these units. One Hellion will go down, the other Hellion very close to going down. 4 probes have died already. I think that's going to be just about it. This Reaper's going to make its way into the main base. Might be able to get 1 more kill. Yeah, I mean, Kelazhur's pretty good. So 5 probe kills. Was that really worth 2 Hellions and 2 Reapers, though? It feels like not really. You know what? Maybe it is. I think it's worth Kelazhur's economy being a little bit more comparable to MaxPax's. He also used all of the energy on one of those Phoenixes, so they will kill that Reaper. They can't really do anything more than that. Cyclone pops out and shoves them away. Yeah, last game was a lot of Blink Stalkers out of MaxPax. This game, though, I think Stim and Combat Shields are safe. Phoenixes can't kill those. Can you imagine if you could lift, like, a tech lab? Or you could lift the barracks. They just, like, lift it off. And they let go, and it's just floating there. It doesn't drop back down. It just stays in the air. That would be incredibly overpowered. Maybe they should get an upgrade. Fleet beacon upgrade to be able to lift up buildings. So the follow-up to the Phoenix will be Colossi. It's interesting. I feel like I haven't seen the charge follow-up in a while now. It was so popular for a while. But I think the Terrans learned how to counter it. Like, all right, we're back to Colossi. Phoenix is now in high enough number to come in and start getting some damage done. Good double lock on, but as I say that, where's the support for these 4 Cyclones? SCV's coming out for repair, but 1 Cyclone does go down. Kelazhur is pushing across the map, though. He's going for that push. And the Colossus is not ready. It's being chrono boosted out, but it does take a while to build. Oh, no, the Phoenixes. Whew. Bit of a misplay there for MaxPax. Loses a Phoenix. Think he's going to have enough time to get this Colossus out now. Looks like Kelazhur doesn't want to super commit to this. He doesn't have any medevacs out to support this. And he's got a lot of units coming across the map. I think if he can get the tank sieged up here, could be in a good spot. Cyclone looking for a lock on. The Phoenix is waiting, biding their time where they can be useful. Cyclone gonna bite the dust here. There is a shield battery. The overcharge is too late, though. The Colossus goes down. Kelazhur's got too much here, but the Immortal stays alive. Enough of these Marines have gone down, where now MaxPax will just clear this up. Marines can't quite do it. They get 1 more Phoenix. MaxPax doesn't exactly have the strongest army right now. Using that Colossus is painful, but he pushed Kelazhur all the way back home. Kelazhur is going to have to run back with his tail between his legs, these last couple of Marines, just hoping they make it home. Phoenixes kind of want to stop that, I feel like, but I don't think they have energy to do so. Kelazhur looks like he wants to take his 3rd base. It's almost done here. MaxPax is, of course, up and running, so he's got that economic boost once again. That's another Phoenix going down, it looks like, though. No, just 2 Phoenix have died, so they must have killed something. I don't know what they killed, but they killed something here. No, MaxPax kind of just chilling for now. Happy to stay at home, build up the Colossus count, getting to charge. Is that 8 gates building at once? All right. Wild, man. I mean, he only had like 2 warp gates, so kind of makes sense to drop those 8 gates. That is so much money in gateways, though. How much is that? Was it 8 times 1,200 minerals? 1,200 minerals? That's wild. He just has that. Oh, he also took a base at the same time. So that's 1,600 minerals that he just dropped all on that at once. MaxPax out here macroing like me. Look down. Oh, I have 1,600 minerals. Gateways! Nexus! Hooray! No, it's good, though. He needs that production. His 4th base is nearly done. Kelazhur's got that 3rd base up and running now. So the economy is going to be a little bit closer over the next couple of minutes, but MaxPax's army is pretty significantly higher in supply than Kelazhur's. It makes me a little bit worried for a Terran player here. Usually you'd expect the opposite. 3 Colossi, there are a lot of Phoenixes still in the sky. There are 4 siege tanks, a very deep tank line right now. There's a bunker here as well that can help Kelazhur out. He's got to be careful, though. He's got a lot of units. Oh, my God. He unsieges at the worst possible moment. MaxPax just happens to push in. Tanks will come back in. MaxPax just going to run away. and poke and prod at the corner of this base. Oh, but he's got a huge warping in the main. 4 zealots dropping in. Like 8 more warping in. And that's going to draw a lot of units up there, which means Kelazhur might not have enough down here to defend this push. And that is GG. MaxPax taking a strong and decisive Game 2 victory there after a crazy Game 1. MaxPax is like, no. We don't do that. We don't do that. I don't know what losing to a Terran feels like. I don't like it. I haven't experienced that in years. Well, MaxPax closes out Game 2 very quickly, very strongly. Well, takes us to Game 3. It's nice. Different than Dave Testa's macro? I've seen Dave's macro. Once. I saw him macro once. It was weird. I never want to see it again. All right. In the lobby for Game 3, we're going to Dragon Scales. All right, I hope we get more of a Game 1 than a Game 2 in this Game 3. Hoping for a nice close one. That last one felt a little rough for Kelazhur. A nice close Game 3 would be ideal between these two excellent players. The winner of this game will go on to face Clem in the grand finals. He is waiting for him. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the Blue Protoss for Psystorm Gaming. MaxPax. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner. Been very successful so far today in his plot as the Bond villain of the bracket. It is Team Liquid's Kelazhur. He's also got a Z in his name, which I feel like tracks for a villain name. But then MaxPax has 2 X's, which also kind of feels villainy. But Max is not a villain name, right? I feel like Max is definitely a hero name. But it's like a hero of a late 90s kids movie. That's who Max is. Max is definitely the good guy of some late 90s movie. If you took the Kela away and you just named him Zur, I feel like that's definitely a villain name. Z-H-U-R? Does that mean something in some language? I don't know, I feel like it could. But it sounds like a good villain name. Zur. With the H there especially. That's good. That's hot. We like that. Ooh, what's this probe doing, MaxPax? What's this probe doing, guys? What's going on down here? Is that going to be a Stargate? Is that what's going on down here? Or is it a gateway? I It feels kind of late to be a second gate. Oh, it is a gateway. All right. MaxPax getting cheeky with it. As he do. Who were we watching the other day? I remember I was casting somebody, and they did the old school MaxPax. The old school proxy gate opener. It's kind of crazy to think about, like, the origin story of MaxPax. I feel like most players, I could not tell you when they, like, started playing or anything, but MaxPax, we know exactly when he started playing. Beastie found him on ladder, got MaxPaxed, showed the world the build. The world did the build. I remember getting hit with that on ladder every single time. Parting did it in GSL. And since then, MaxPax went from kind of a weird but gimmicky player who had his own specific style to the strongest Protoss in the world. And now he's shading adepts into this natural base. That is a lot of adepts. It's going to be a few SCVs going down. Marines going down. Widowmine, though, zoning up on the top of the ramp. There's not going to be any mining here. Hellion on the other side gets a probe, 2 probes. A couple probes going down. But these adepts are still causing a lot of trouble. Look at these mules that are just dying here. And we've got Stalkers warping in. Blink is on the way. MaxPax is diving in on top of this. Trying to poke at the Widowmine. Just getting damage on everything he can as he gets back here into this very annoying little position. 7 SCVs have now gone down. The shades will give him high ground vision. He could also try to do fancy shading techniques against this Widowmine. It's kind of tough to do, but MaxPax's pretty good. So he's going to sacrifice a Stalker for it instead. And suddenly that Widowmine is not doing anything. And there's no repair on this bunker. I think that's just a dead bunker. Tank coming out at a really nice time. The bunker is dead. Kelazhur should be able to hold with this tank. It's going to buy him a little bit of time. But MaxPax has 3-gate blink right now. He doesn't have any high ground vision, but he just killed 12 SCVs, as well as a good handful of units. MaxPax has taken a very nice trade. And blink is nearly done. Is this the MaxPax opener? Asks random person who made their way into the lobby right before we started the game. And unfortunately, this is why we don't let random people into the lobby. No, Glad, I do not think that is a codecaster. And this is not the MaxPax opener. This is, however, Blink Stalkers coming into play. They'll take down that siege tank. Bunker doing quite a bit of damage here, but I don't think the Stalkers have died yet. Okay, a couple of them have gone down. The Marines trying. Siege tank popping out here, pushing these Stalkers away. 6 SCVs going down. But at least a few more Stalkers have died. Trades are not too bad for Kelazhur, but the real problem is MaxPax has a third halfway done. He's up a bunch of workers. Kelazhur's going to try to do something about it, though. He's sending this medevac out. Stim is not done yet. The Stalkers miss the medevac. They're thinking about it. They miss it. Kelazhur's going to drop out here quietly. He wants to wait and get as many SCVs as he can, or probes as he can, rather. He's going to get all of these probes that are transferring between the bases. Probes pull back, but he is getting some good damage. This is really important damage for Kelazhur. It's the only time he's been able to get anything done on this other side of the map. Stalker's going to warp in. We're going to see a recall at the third to push this medevac away. Ooh, medevac will get to the corner. 3 more gates going down here for MaxPax. He's got charge on the way. I think the medevac can go hide in this corner, though. So the Stalkers can't hit it. And that pulls the pressure off of Kelazhur. He's going to salvage that bunker. He's going to start a third. Is he going to actually push out with this army? Yeah, MaxPax is going to spot the push out. He wants to go catch this army in the middle of the map. I don't know if Kelazhur is actually pushing. It looks like he is. Not just trying to secure a third base location here. He wants to actually put some pressure on. The drop is still hanging out in the corner. There are still some stalkers over there. Ooh, these tanks on the backside have to be super duper careful. Yeah, Kelazhur wants to push out, but he does not have a lot of bio here. A couple units getting picked off by the stalkers. Ooh, it's a very nicely placed Liberator, though. I can't believe MaxPax just dodged that shot with the star. I didn't even know you could do that. He stayed in the Liberation Zone, but he dodged the shot. But that did bring the stalkers away, so the Marines can come back to play. Targeting down a few more probes, 8 probes going down. Suddenly that worker count's getting kind of equalized. Kelazhur is going to take this third base. Economically, Kelazhur is about to be in a pretty solid spot, but he is down 25 army supply, and MaxPax has a couple of Colossi out. He has got a strong army. Charge is done. Let's take a look. +1 is about to finish. It's still quite a ways away for Kelazhur. MaxPax is going to have a very strong push here in a moment. 4 tanks is a lot. MaxPax needs to be very aware of the relevance of those 4 siege tanks. Oh, but Kelazhur going the wrong direction right now, leaving his base so exposed as MaxPax starts to push into the natural. There's just nothing here in the natural. Kelazhur is so focused on defending the third. I don't think he ever realized there was a proxy gate down there. And MaxPax finds a beautiful position. He's pushing up the ramp. He's going to be able to kill absolutely everything in this natural. I will say, I don't think he has a recall. Oh, he does. Yeah, he absolutely does. It's way off cooldown. That's going to be GG. MaxPax gets in there. He has a way to get out of there, and he just kills absolutely everything in the natural to take game 3. And Kelazhur, his evil James Bond villain plans cut short. He will not be able to turn all of the water of the world's oceans into a poisonous liquid, which would give him control of all of the ocean. Not today. MaxPax, James Bond stops him.